Imagine cracking hundreds of eggs before sunrise, cooking bacon in massive trays, stirring vats of oatmeal big enough to feed an entire village. The heat was constant, the noise never ended, metal on metal, orders shouted, timers ticking, and everything had to be ready on time because meals ran on strict schedules. Miss it, and hundreds of sailors go hungry. This wasn't casual cooking, this was industrial-scale precision, a system designed to operate without failure. Because failure here didn't mean complaints, it meant consequences. War isn't just fought with weapons, it's fought in the mind, and food was one of the few comforts sailors had. A hot meal after hours of duty, a piece of fresh bread, a cup of strong coffee, small things that meant everything. For a moment, the war faded. For a moment, they weren't on a battleship, they were just men, eating, remembering home. That's why the US Navy understood something critical. Food wasn't just fuel, it was morale. Better food meant stronger spirits meant better performance, and better performance meant survival. Some ships even carried ice cream machines, in the middle of the ocean, in the middle of war, not as a luxury, but as a weapon against stress, against fear, against breaking. Now imagine this, you're in the kitchen, you're holding a pot of boiling liquid, and suddenly, the entire ship shakes. The main guns fire, each blast sends shockwaves through steel, everything rattles, pans slide, liquids spill, the floor trembles beneath your feet. But you don't stop. You can't stop, because the crew still needs to eat, especially during battle. While shells are being fired above deck, meals are still being prepared below, because hunger doesn't wait for peace, and war doesn't pause for meals. So the cooks adapt. They brace themselves, they stabilize what they can, and they keep going, because that's their mission. Feeding thousands of men isn't just cooking, it's logistics. The ship had to store massive quantities of food, frozen meat, dry goods, limited fresh produce. Storage space was tight, conditions were difficult, and resupply wasn't guaranteed. Sometimes the ship stayed at sea for weeks. That meant every meal had to be planned, every ingredient accounted for, nothing wasted, every potato mattered, every ration counted, because if supplies ran low, there was no backup plan, just ocean, so the system had to work perfectly every time. In the middle of war, there were small moments. A laugh in the mess hall, a quick conversation over a meal, a second helping when it was available. Moments of normal life inside an abnormal world. Food created those moments. It brought structure to chaos, routine to uncertainty, humanity to war. Even something simple, like dessert, could change the mood of an entire crew, because those moments reminded them they were still human, still alive, still connected to something beyond the ship. The USS Iowa was built to dominate the seas, to project power, to win wars. Its guns were massive, its armor was strong, its reputation fearsome. But behind all of that was something quieter, something often overlooked. Thousands of men, standing in line, waiting for their next meal. Because even on the most powerful warship in the world, victory didn't just come from firepower. It came from consistency, from discipline, from endurance, and from a kitchen that never stopped working. Because in war, even the smallest things can make the biggest difference.